Well, if I didn't mention it earlier, I'm going to do my first transmission rebuild, and I'm just going to show you a few things that I've run into. There's plenty of transmission rebuild videos by professionals on YouTube, and I have watched a bunch of them first because, like I said, I'm a novice at this and I'm going to attempt it. And if it don't work, I'll just take my core in and see if I can get it rebuilt. But anyway, these are my tools. I guess you've seen those all right. I got some stuff on the floor to absorb the oil or fluid, and my transmission jack I used with a mount to pull my transmission up, and I mounted it to a pretty secure bench. And over here I got a computer transmission bench, and as you can see, I've already gotten into it and I run into a few snags. First of all, the case here, the bolts were not 25 or 35 foot-pounds, whatever they are. They were put on with an impact wrench, so I believe this transmission has been rebuilt. My dipstick tube would not come out, so it broke off, as you can see. And I'm going to have to figure out something here to get it back together. And my plate, this metal piece is stuck on there, and I'm going to have to take a chisel and get it off. This filter that goes in the plate was actually in the body over here, laying loose inside. It had fallen through. So as you can see, I've done a few little things, and I'm going to do some more. But right now, I had a little trouble getting this out. The wiring harness, little tabs, my 1 1/4 socket didn't seem to want to push these in enough, and I had to go around with the screwdriver a little at a time. And I was pulling, but nothing was happening, and it looked like they had been pushed in enough and were coming up enough, so I just took a little hammer, tapped on it, and this O-ring was actually what was holding it, and it come, this O-ring here, and it actually came right out. So there you have it. I am going to try and rebuild this, and I'll bring you back here and there. Like I said, don't watch me to learn, watch someone else, but I might show you a few other things that I run into that somebody else doesn't. So I'll be right back with something else, I'm sure. Okay, I'm back. Got the pump out, got the drums out, or whatever they are. Anyway, the planetary gear set, I can't get a hold of it, so I'm going to have to maybe hook a little screwdriver underneath, pull it up. Yeah, I just hooked a little screwdriver under it. I got a 90-degree screwdriver, and I just pulled it up and it come out. Now I got to pull the rest of it up here. You know, the bearings are looking really good in this. Everything I've checked, these bearings look good. Okay, here's another update. This retainer, the spring with the compression clip here was a little difficult to get out. The reason being, the ridges in here would not allow my tool to get down in there because the tool was wider than between the case and the spring cage here. So I went and borrowed a tool from Tom. You know who Tom is if you watched the other video. And let me get it. Okay, here's the tool that I got from Tom, and you can see that the angle on the tip has to be just like at an angle like that, and a really narrow tip, and you need at least a spread of 1 1/4 inches, I'd say, because the other tools I had would only go like about 1 inch, which ain't gonna work in my case once that spring is in there, or that retainer clip. Then, if that ain't enough, my air nozzle that I use to put in the hole, I believe, is right there. to move the piston up. Well, guess what? It didn't want to blow right, so the piston moved just a little bit. And now I've got to fix the air nozzle or get a different one. And maybe even push the piston back down in, because I think it moved it up just enough. Now I'll roll this over and I'll see if I can maybe weasel it out with a screwdriver. I don't know. Anyway, it did not pop out like everybody else's seems to do. So that's where I am now. Once I get that out, I can clean this case. And until that, I will get it out. I will either fix my nozzle, push that back down in and get a better seal, or I will try and weasel it out a little bit. I believe you can see it right through here, maybe the bottom, I don't know, but that's where I am now, getting there slowly. Here's what I'm talking about. You can see that the pair green handle ones I bought on Amazon are wider at the tip, and I couldn't get the tip down between this low reverse piston and the spring cage. But you can see that the snap-on pair, which is much narrower, got in there. So just be aware, and you can see a different angle on it too, that you could have a snag there if you don't have the right tool. Alrighty, guess who's back? Anyway, I got, what is that, the low reverse housing in there? Clutch housing? I don't know. With the spring cage. Anyway, the spring was really a lot of fun. Let me show you what I used. When I say fun, I'm lying, sarcasm. This is the one aftermarket thing I got. And it attaches to the hubs, or the nubs, like right in there, the slots, and then it goes and pushes the spring cage down. But I tried and tried and tried. A pair of pliers, lock ring pliers. I had the ring and it kept sliding off. I had a heck of a time. Anyway, once I had this screwed down fairly good distance where I could at least feel that ridge all the way around where the lock ring goes, then I used a screwdriver method. And what I did is I just, get that out of the way, I took the back side of the ring, or actually I put one end in here, the front side. Can I get in closer than that? Yeah, okay, I think I could do that. Okay, now you can see that ring right there. There's the, I think you can see it. Where's, okay, there's, yeah, no. Where is it? Where's my finger? Okay. There's the edge of the ring. The end, one end. The other end is on over here. What I did is I put that end in and I held it down with a screwdriver. Then I took my fingers and I went back and I pushed here, got another screwdriver, that one right there, and I pushed it around, and it snapped right in. So I used the screwdriver method instead of the pliers method. But I'll tell you one thing, I fought that expansion ring for well over 2 hours before I finally just decided to use the screwdriver method. So that's another dilemma I ran into. I've checked the case all over. It doesn't have any leaks. I did the little fluid in the hole here with the case laying flat, and it didn't leak, and nothing came out of, where is it, over here? This hole here, nothing come out through there, and it was really good. So all the screw holes look good, both holes I mean, and I'm going to move on now to some more of that. I think that goes in next, and I'll let you know what kind of trouble I have there, if I have any at all. Oh, and did I tell you the lowercase is back together. Nice, smooth, everything is really good. Input shaft is in. I used 2 screwdrivers to put the input shaft ring on. I held the shaft with a pair of very long, let me show you. Oh, where did I put them? Oh, there they are. Oh, very long, very, very, very long. Irwin quick grip. But as you've probably seen on YouTube, you can use a bungee cord. I'm waiting on a reverse input housing. This drum is toast. So I bought this really nice refurbished reverse input drum. There's the old one. And believe it or not, you can feel all the ridges through here. It is really bad. So anyway, I got this really nice refurbished one. And the bearings even look good in this one too. They're a little different style, but they look like they've been replaced. And I'm going to change the seals on this input drum piston. Then I'm going to put it in here. And I've noticed a lot of YouTube videos. This is one of the rough ones to do. So I watched a guy on YouTube. Believe it or not, he has a new system for doing this. And I'm going to go ahead and try and perform it here for you guys, gals. And if it works, it'll be great. If it don't, well, it's probably just me doing it the first time. But I'll try and remember to leave a link to his YouTube video, because he did a really good job. Okay, what I've done is lubed up the inside of the drum, and I've cut transparency, okay? I'll call it a transparency. Anyway, I've got a little thick on that end. Anyway, I've got a transparency in here, and I probably ought to put some lube on it. But I have lube. I'm going to put some lube on the seals itself on the piston, so I'm not so sure about this part here. Then over the nose of this, you usually see these professional transmission rebuilders. They have a cone that slides over, or they use a little green plastic transparency, or a feeler gauge, or what have you. Anyway, I'll put that over there like that. This is the way the video shows it, okay? Anyway, now I make sure my seals are facing the right proper way. Put a little lube trans gel around this seal, and then some more trans gel around the inner seal. And on the video, what he did, this guy, and I don't remember his name, but like I said, I will try and leave a link to it, because he really deserves some credit if this works. So what he did is he just made sure he got this over the transparencies first, like that, and then over the water bottle cut off, and then he just pushed down. I just want to get some of this off. I don't know if this is going to work or not, but I am going to give it a try. Of course, the problem with this is of course making sure you get your water bottle out of there. As you can see, I'm probably going to fight with it a little bit. Okay, let's pull it back up a little. Yeah, I'm struggling with it, people. That's the problem with some of these. Okay, that loosened. I pulled up on this a little bit and I got it to loosen up a little bit. So I'll see if I can get past it now. Not quite yet. Alright. Did I get past that? Yes, I did. I got past the ring groove. That's a good sign. Alright. Now, can I get the other ones out? Those come out fairly easy. You know what? That is down there, people. And I'll test it with some air in a bit. And I can turn it because my hands are so slippery. I gotta put a rag on it. And yeah, I can turn it, so that's a good sign. I'll know for sure when I give it a little bit of an air test later. Better with the light off, isn't it? Anyway. Oops. It's tight. I think I got it. Like I said, I'm going to air check it later and I'll try and bring you back for that. Okay, I said I'd bring you back for the air check, and I did. Can you see that? Anyway, that little operation worked with the transparency in the water bottle. Worked very well. Okay, I'm not really having any trouble at the moment, but I want to show you a tool I found on Amazon. And I'm compressing the spring cage in the input housing here, and you can see how the shaft goes through there. An old Black & Decker Workmate seems to work pretty good, but I would imagine I could just have a hole in a bench and do it with this thing. And okay, the next little bit of fun I had was this converter clutch regulator valve. I want to disable it to keep it from shuttling back and forth and wearing the bore out. Sonics has a fix for it to make it just like factory, but you can disable it with a spring. Not this one. This is the one that come out of it. The other one's about that much longer. So anyway, put the spring in, but it is so stiff I had a lot of trouble compressing it until I realized I can take an 8mm socket and a pair of grips like I have here I use in carpentry and compress it. It holds it for me, and I can put my clip down in there because my thumbs just aren't that strong anymore. And if you've got really good strong hands, mine are getting weaker with age, you may not need this. You can go ahead and try it, but this is the way I did it, and it saved me a bunch of work and a few words. Okay, let's see what else we got coming up, and I'll be back. Well, okay, everyone, everything seems to be going pretty smoothly, other than waiting for parts to come in. I need to get a new pan gasket. I don't like the cork ones, so I'm to the check ball thing, but as you can see, maybe I can get a little further. Okay, in the plate, in the gasket, you can see that they're marked where the check balls would go if you wanted to put them in like this on top of the gasket. It would be one here, one here's 2, 3. Do not put 2 in here. You've got 1 here and 1 here. 4, 5, 6, and 7. So with all the vagueness, sometimes you can get confused. So I'm only doing this because I know I've had a little trouble. And I'm going to pull back even further now. Anyway, here's my check balls, and I'm going to hold them in with assembly lube and then turn it over and put the valve body down on top of the gasket. So that's where I'm at, and haven't had too much trouble so far other than what you've seen. So that's that, and I'll be back later. Okay, got my I checked the thing and it squeaks that way, and smooth that way. I think I got it all right. And I checked the servo with air before I had all the put back together here, and I was able to lock the servo up on the bands to stop the turning, so that means it would be holding the shell. Anyway, that's where I'm at. I'm getting really close now to going outside and flushing out the cooler lines. Well, I'm getting close to the finish line. I had a couple bolts here that the threads needed to be chased on these. They were screwing in just a little bit, and they were kind of screwed up at the ends here. I don't know if they'd gotten some dirt on them or whatever when they were put in or removed, but if I'd have just went ahead and rammed them through, I'm sure I would have stripped a lot of aluminum threads because they were a little tough. I used my tap and die set, and I used an M10 times 1.5. Oh, you're picking that up. This is an M10 by 1.5 to chase the threads, and the way I found it is I think it's this one here. They fall all over in here when I close the case. I think the tap here says M10 by 1.5 on it, so all I did was, it's very easy to do this if you've never done this before. Match your threads. I don't know if you can see that or not. Match your threads up with your tap. And then if you needed to tap out the hole, this is what you would use. But if you just need to chase the threads, you use one of these things. So there you go. Tap and die. That's a die, I guess. So that's where I'm at. Going back over here. Yeah, I'm waiting on a pan gasket right now. I don't want to use the cork gasket. I just got the cover on right now and got everything back together, and hopefully it's all right. The first time I've done this, and you know, I've fooled with O-rings and stuff before, but this is probably the most of my life I've ever fooled with O-rings and compression rings and E-clips, snap rings, the whole 9 yards, and putting it together and making sure you got never clipped an O-ring or smashed a seal or whatever. I believe I have it all together properly. Well, it's time to get back under here. I'm going to try and flush these two cooler lines out. using a carburetor cleaner and a hose. Okay, the idea here is to spray some carburetor cleaner in it. And use an air hose. Put a little air, I believe either in here, might have to switch lines, I don't know, but try and get the fluid to come out down through here, and keep adding carburetor cleaner until it looks clear, or clearer. Okay, I have the air pressure at about 35, and there is some fluid coming through the hose when I give it some air. Okay. Doesn't seem to be a whole lot in there, and it didn't seem to be all that dirty. See if I can add some carb cleaner to this. And I could hear it filling up. Maybe you could hear that too, I don't know. A little more 35 psi. The other end of my hose and my drain pan here, which you probably is off camera. Okay, this is the idea. I'm going to turn it off for a minute and keep going. And because I know it's going to run out of time here. Or battery. One more. See if it gets any clearer on this one. Here's the camera, hold out a little bit longer. Okay, let me turn the camera off. I'll keep doing this till this line gets a little clearer than it is. Okay, I believe I'm almost there. Watch this line right here. It's still a little pink. I don't think I need to put any more through there. So now the cooler is flushed out. Well, you know, as I said before, I'm new at this. This is my first transmission rebuild, and I did not want to show a lot of the stuff that I learned off of YouTubes and books that I got. But I believe I got everything together except for the dipstick tube that I twisted getting out. I broke it, and JB welded it. Didn't work. Spent a lot of money on these dipstick tubes trying to find something that would work for my air breaking it, getting it out. I mean, that thing was in there. But in any case, I've got it all back together. I'm pretty happy with it. If I wasn't, I wouldn't be filming this right now. If there's anything I thought I should do different, I'd be doing it, and I wouldn't be filming this right now. But I have the old torque converter in. And she is nice. It's very nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lock it down. I've got a little piece of metal on an arm that I found in my junk pile. I'm gonna lock the torque converter to where it don't slide out the front. So until the next video, thank you all for watching and subscribing, and Steve AZ 711. Bye for now.